Hi everyone, this is Samuel Durbin. So today I wanted to bring up different things about uh, I want to say angelic knowledge, energetic knowledge, and how I fit in with how I kind of figure out all this stuff. Like, where am I getting all of this knowledge or information, or where is my information coming from? Is it just me telling you it from my own instincts or beliefs or ideas? Or did I actually witness, or do I actually do research and information? Well, research is all around you. It's within you and it's everywhere. I usually watch other videos. I follow Twitter feeds, but I've also kind of heard it before and been shown it in dreams and experiences that there was no way I would know it otherwise. But it seems to be in all our collective minds and souls and hearts. And the heart is where the energy connection connects to your brain and your gut. There's light extra cell memory that gets transferred from your heart to your gut to your brain. There are studies that confirm this. And I found this out, and I already kind of knew this, but then I brought it up to others, and then they found the research and confirmed it. They're like, whoa, 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 you're right, yeah. And these are doctors, and these are philosophers, these are studies, these are military individuals, whole bunch of people that have known it worldwide. And then you can research it too to confirm it. And there's several sources that confirm it. So my information is coming from somewhere. And some of it comes from dreams and experiences. And I'm like, how would I know this? Why am I having this experience? And was this in another timeline or a dream experience, or beings telling me things through my dreams to help me out, angels, God, whatever? Or is there a spiritual warfare happening when we sleep in our dreams for those that do dream, where there's a bad influence and a good influence, and you got to choose the right one, and they're both battling for your soul? It's your soul battling for its composure of what it wants to accept. It's your ego versus spirit, which is non-existent, because spirit and ego are the same thing. Ego doesn't exist. Spirit is your ego. And that's one thing that I had to realize, that so if you want something and you feel that it's you, that I, as ego, you are. So I am, what are you? I am that I am. I am wealthy. I am healthy. I am this way. And then you just, instead of saying I am, you just say wealthy, 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 money, money, money. Some people say liquid income, liquid income, liquid income. And really what it is you just ask for it to be there and it will show up. So there's energetic knowledge, angelic knowledge, and information that I look up. So there are individuals that reach out to me, or I've reached out to, and then they reach back, and then I get a hold of them, and we get a hold of each other sometimes. I've had a few, in the last year, I've met new friendships through doing that. And then some chose to kind of be busy and do their own path, and I set them on their own way, or they chose to go their own way, because everybody's just choosing what they feel they should, and I've always told them that. Everybody I've talked to ever since I woke up in 2019, at the end of 2019, where I really became the full me, from the waking up in 2017 and the traumatic, concerning experience in 2015 that started it all, but it wasn't the cataclysmic reason that started it. It was because of things that happened in childhood that eventually needed to come out, needed to wake up, and that's what happened. And so what occurred is I became a full me, and I became more myself. And so when you become more yourself, you become more balanced, you start to heal, you start to look better, you start to follow your own path more, you follow a different, your body and your hair and everything starts to work with you rather than against you. It loves you because you love it. You talking to it, you connect with it, you connect with everything, and then it starts to mend. And even if you have foreign objects or things in your body, love it and appreciate that it's helped you for whatever it's helped you with, even if you don't know what that is. And say, please help me. And please, either if you're unable to help me or if we don't match and it's not good for me, then please somehow dissolve or become something different that will help me fully the way I would like to, so that you can be where you want to be and I can be where I want to be. And so you talk to everything as if it wants its own dreams. And I mean everything. Your phone, your cases, your blankets, things, objects you have, you appreciate and say thank you for being in my life. I love you. I appreciate you. And you just feel it, think it, touch it in the way that you feel that matters to you. And it's also good to be respectful of what it is. Be gentle and kind to it if you feel that that's what it wants. Until you know what it wants, do your best to treat it the way that you would want to be treated if you were it. Okay? If you were that object or if you were that thing. How would you want to be treated if you were that thing? And I don't mean that in any form of weird way or strange way. Some will take it that way, but if that's the way you are, then that's the way you're going to go towards. And that's your vibration. That's what you're manifesting. That's what you're hoping others will go towards and have. But there's a time and a place for everything. And so if you're not wanted, then don't take it as a disrespect. Move on to somewhere where you are wanted. Somewhere where you do fit in. Somewhere where you feel like it matters and that you're not going to be rejected or abused or abusing others. Because if you're abusing others, then you're going to abuse yourself. And that's not healthy for anyone, because no one really wants to be abused in any way unless they don't consider it abuse and they appreciate it, which is a little bit much to me. So I'm going to move on. So what it is we want to do the right thing for our souls. So everybody's going to do what they're going to do, whether we like it or not. But at the same time, there is a warning that you still want people to be aware of, just so that they have the chance to know what they're getting themselves into. So giving them enough knowledge is what's good. So that's with parenting, that's with anything. You want to make sure that you teach them enough without holding it back, but enough that they can handle it so that someone else doesn't teach them something that they don't know is needed to be taught, so they can handle what that is. Because if you don't tell someone something, someone else might tell them sooner or on accident, thinking they would already know, and it might ruin your chances to let them be aware of it in the way that you feel that would benefit them knowing them better. But at the same time, you need to still let them decide what would be better for them, because you may not know what they need to know for what they've gone through. Because how do you know that they feel comfortable or have told you everything that they've dealt with? And so you got to follow the vibrations you fit with and with others, and forgive and put judgments aside. And instead of thinking that others are out to get against you, or thinking that they're talking behind your back, or you're wondering if they are, and you have all this pent up energy, we're going to react to whatever we're going to react to. And then we got to forgive our doubts and our fears and put that aside. And we all kind of do it. We all get concerned about people around us that affect us, that we hear, because we're always on guard due to abuses or things that have been done to us. And we're always thinking of it, moving our eyes up and down, thinking about it, worrying about it, if that's what we do. I do that a little bit, as you can tell. In most of my videos, I'm always looking to the side or looking up and down like I'm doing right now, trying to think things through because of concern or worry. It's not because I can't look straight in the eye. I actually look straight in the eye more. It's just I have a lot of thoughts and a lot of things rattling in my head, and I got to make all sense with it, because it's like me looking at a file going back and forth, but it's not like that really. It's just trying to get it all organized in my head because of all the different stuff that I know. And it's like I know so much that it's like overlapping, but it's not really in a visual way. It's more of in a categorical way of just it's there, and I'm trying to take that energy and shape it to what I feel it needs to be seen as. So it's like it's a very unique way that I do things that is way different than I've heard anybody do. And others think that they think the same way as me, and we get confused all the time because I'm like, I don't visualize. I'm unable to visualize. But then I kind of have a visualization that overlaps, but then it's not colorful. Then sometimes if it's different, and it's just from what others have been told of how things work. So for me, I have to kind of do my own form of meditation, my own form of balancing. And it's by recognizing my heart connection to my brain and my gut and realizing that for me, I have to do it a different way than others tell you to do it in. But they're telling you what to do, thinking that that's the only way to do it and the way that it has to be done and the best way to do it. But everybody has to do it their own unique focus that they feel they're seeing it in. And then you kind of have to match it, even if you don't know what it is, and accept whatever it is they're seeing and kind of put yourself as okay, they know what they're doing, they know what they're seeing, they know what they're feeling. And even if they're unable to see it and they want to see it, they are having it in the way that they would like it, whether they're able to visualize it or not. So you have to put kind of a non-judgment about how they're focusing and just choosing to manifest it or able to. And then you got to give that extra boost that whatever they want, whatever they desire, let it be, let it be, let it be. And let it manifest. And so it does. Love it, appreciate it, believe that they love it and appreciate it for a good purpose, for a peaceful purpose for all. Not forcing anybody to do anything that they shouldn't be doing or would be inappropriate. Just following the heart that matters. And not doing anything to those that don't know better or too young to biologically or by law or because it's just wrong. And so you want to look at people and letting them have their, they got to be both physically okay, and they have to be able to make the choice themselves, but they have to be to a point of recognition of what they're getting themselves into. So they have to have the knowledge, but not enough knowledge that would be just too much that they would overly then do it because now they know and they want to, and they're too young or too immature in their own hearts to know what they're getting themselves into. And so it's really, we want people and beings and everybody to respect that, we got to be aware and we got to be careful and make sure that you're going towards your maturity connections that are not affecting another person's life path. And if it's someone that is close to your age, preferably, that would be the better match for you. If you're going to go for someone that's older than you or younger, make sure that they're past the maturity ages where they rely on themselves and don't rely on others or live with others or go under other rules or still trying to figure out things and those family members or those are helping them. Okay? That is where you gotta get to the point where, no, you need to respect other people's boundaries and family connected boundaries that the individual requires or desires to have. And don't manipulate those boundaries or try to manipulate or gaslight someone's intelligence. And that's the issue that's happened is people have gaslighted people's intelligence to try to say that they're above them or that they should make the decisions for them or they're incapable of it. You're putting that energy on them, manifesting as though it's that way, even if it's not, because it's really the individual that decides it. And so what has happened is we now have to individually manifest our own desires and get all toxic behaviors from our families, parents, other people that believe the falsehoods of them about us or others or old friends that believe false narratives or false things that they made it seem right, and then we said something that sounds like what they said it is, like they said it would be, because they know how to manipulate because they've known you for a long time. So you got to get away from those manipulators. They're doing it because they're in pain, or they just think it's fun, and they think it's funny, and they're doing it to get back at the individual that chooses not to be part of them or hang around them anymore because of those um, really horrible things that they've chosen to do, that they blame on the devil or they blame on something else, and they say, oh, well, I'm not perfect. I get tempted, and that's why I do these things, and and I repent and I go to my bishop all the time, so it's all okay. And I know I'm bad. I know I'm good. I do know that I go to this person and that person or that I need to. And it's just, you hear these same things from these individuals, and I'm like, what is going on? Why do they not have enough self-worth for themselves to realize what's going on with them? And it's because they didn't look in their hearts. They've been indicated and taught that they're worthless, or that they deserve to do these things to other people because they have the devil in them, or that they've been influenced and that they're not perfect and it's okay to be sarcastic. So they feel that there's no way for them to be better. So they make excuses that it's because of they're not perfect and they're the natural man, and they know they're flawed, and they're okay with the flawness because they think that they always will be, because the religion or the teachings tell them they will, and they'll always be so they become tempted. They become that way, or others manifest it in that focus of them, and then they get affected by it and start being that direction past because someone is focusing and seeing them that way. But when you start seeing people as already healthy, as amazing looking, as buff and awesome, and exactly the stimulation you desire to have for someone you would want to manifest in your life, to be in your life, romantically or normally, or just in every type of relationship you're looking for, and just friendship or whatever, or someone that can teach you to heal and manifest or do those things that you've been looking for, someone that can be equal with you, because you're not getting it out of your family partner or whoever, and now you found someone you think could. Well, do it from the heart and make sure that you're not manipulating the other relationships while you do these things that you get drawn to. You want to make sure, if you're going to jump into a new path or a new choice, for instance, if you realize, I don't want to be part of a certain religion or culture anymore, I need to leave. What are the ramifications of leaving that culture or that connection that you're in? You need to look into the legal agreements that you've been born into, is what I recommend. Look into see if there's any legal agreements that the religion has been able to do to you since birth. That's going to be your biggest issue. And then, because there are, and you'd be surprised, many religion individuals have no idea, but they do this, and that's why they're teaching you some of the things they're teaching you, saying it's a religious thing when it's a legal agreed political thing. It has nothing to do with revelation or anything else. It has to do with agreements that were redacted from script, or that was altered from scripture, and to follow scripture that was redacted information to control societies. And so you need to be aware of that and see the jargon and see the information, what was teaching and what was going on there. And then you need to decide for yourself. And if you're okay with those agreements and you justify them, and you think it would be justified by that God connection, then you're going to realize that you're basically contradicting your own teachings, because you're basically doing what you feel you shouldn't do, but you know that you'll be forgiven because it's not as bad as if you never were in it at all. And it's like, because of covenants or agreements that you feel you must do, or you'll be following the wrong path. Really, it's about the vibration. And that's what they changed and altered. It's the vibration of healing and being the full you. So there's a combination there. So what do I personally believe or have belief in about, with, say, angels and all of that? I've been hearing a lot of people bringing up Saint Germain, and I'm starting to think, I keep hearing Germain, and I keep thinking Georgia Guidestones, and all these different parallels that aren't quite the same, but they, for some reason, there's all this different stuff. It's almost like people are trying to guide us towards the wrong things, but then there's two parallels. You either follow one side or the other, or you be aware that both sides have their own agendas, but one may be connected to a full better direction than the other is. So what I would recommend is like, so with Saint Germain and angels and archangels, make sure they're unconditional love energies, because there are forms that are part of religions that are false, that make you feel terrible if you don't follow a certain path or a certain way. And some need that conditioning because they feel they have to, or they'll go too far. And that's up to them. That's their choice. If they think that that is something they should do internally, their heart will tell them what to do, is what I recommend. But it's up to them to follow what that says. But the scriptures and all ancient knowledge tell you to do that several times. There's a lot of some contradictive stuff, because it's not really, some of it's not even contradiction. It's them just replying to the individual, and it was just read out of context. Where with Christ, for example, he went to this rich guy's home, or a wealthy dude's home. He was invited for food or whatever to teach him, and he says, I want you to help me and teach me this knowledge. And you have great knowledge, you got great wisdom. And I've had people ask me the same thing. I want to hear from you. And some of them mean they want to learn and then profit off of your wisdom, not really help people for free. And I'm about free healing, and some just want to learn, and then they want to take it, and then they want to use it for their own gain and pleasure, trickery, or mess with it or alter it, just like they teach was done to other religion teachings, that they said that that's what they did with theirs, but they were part of that group that already did that. And it's just like, oh, come on. It doesn't matter how it's being represented. It's about the heart for free. So what is interesting is, and regardless whether you hear it from me, you're going to hear it from someone, but you can always learn it and get drawn to it by the heart connection. And if you want to know things freely, you can get a hold of me and work through with me, and we'll talk about it, and we'll go through it, and I'll try to simplify it. But it may take a few times to go over it. But I try to simplify it to what is needed, but there's always more that's going to be needed. Once people talk to me or message me, like, wow, you have a wealth of knowledge. And I just need to keep reading these over and over to realize what you just told me several times, but in different ways, and there's tons of stuff. And some of the stuff I say, they misinterpret, but the ones that are very wise, they read it really well, and they misinterpret a few things, but the things that they misinterpreted weren't really bad, and it made sense, because I'm not the best writer or grammar individual. I'm honest about that. At the same time, it's because of certain attacks and different things that have been done to me and others. And yeah, that sounds like a justification, but it's the truth, where I've had to kind of work around all that. And it's difficult when you have to work around things like that. So what's next? So the next thing I'm going to go into is, so with me talking to these individuals, what Christ did is he went, this guy told him, tell me about healing. They talked about discussions. I won't go into that because I can't think of it right now. But what happens is, there happens to be a lady, and maybe it's one of his that comes from the street, or comes that helps this rich guy in his home, or someone that's not of their religion or their faith or their group that they are. So this other guy happens to be a wealthy Jew, or someone that's a high-class Jew, or a Jew that's got some high status. And so he talks to him, and then this lady comes, starts washing his feet, and with oils and things, as part of asking him to, blessing him, thanking him, and then wiping her tears, or using her hair to wipe his feet, and things like that. And then just, that's the culture of what she could do, basically asking for his assistance for something to heal her family member. And this other guy says, how dare you approach him, you dog, calling her a dog. And I don't know if he calls her a female dog, and I'm not going to say that because it's a horrible phrase. And what it is, though, is his recognition of her, and then Christ responds to what he said about this lady after she did that, and he let her, and he said, okay, whatever, let me hear what she has to say. What is it? And she says, will you heal my family member or whatever? She's sick, or they're having a difficult time sick wise, and they're about to die, or please heal them. And this guy says, how dare you approach this guy? Whatever, why should he help you, who is a dog? And she happened to be a Gentile or a Samaritan. Either way, each one was considered, and I think Samaritan is connected to Gentile in a way. There's connections there too, but everything is connected. But what is interesting is he says, why should I help you? After this guy said that she's a dog, why should I help a dog like you, or whatever? What's when I'm this other type that this guy is saying? But he doesn't say that this guy is saying, but he's implying it. But he's saying it to her to see if she would pick up on it, and trying to get this other guy to not put him down, but to get him to realize that it doesn't matter about what status or what race or creed you are. It's about the heart. And so he tells her this. I know this personally because I also had Christ come to me and hug me and ball with me and told me exactly similar stuff. I healed for 4 days, and I helped people during those 4 days that I never knew, and they healed too, and they thanked me, and they said, how did I know their thoughts and their minds about stuff? And I said, because of this experience I just had. So I was told to do the same thing Christ does, and what other prophets of old have done, and that's my purpose, and that I would figure it out by 2019, which I did. But it was more different than I thought. I thought I was supposed to do some glorious thing, but I was told that it might even just be a little thing. But whatever I do, I would cause some form of alien army to take flight, to get away. And I felt that was dark energy beings or other stuff, that I would do something similar to what Samuel did in the Bible. And I was drawn to a scripture of Hebrew 11:32-34, that's my life path time, and it goes all the way to 40, which would be the end of 2024 if we get that far. But it seemed like this year would be the year of change, of ascension, or whatever, connected to a lot of lore. And so this year seemed to be the connector, but I thought it was last year, but it seemed like it was pushing more this year. And so I was told if there was a delay, I'd be okay, and so would others. So this is what I wanted to bring up, is this situation was, this guy calls her dog. Christ says, oh yeah, she's a dog, but doesn't say it. Some people think that he was just being not sarcastic. He was just saying what the other guy was implying about her. He says, why should I help you, a dog, like this other person just told me you are, or that I'm supposed to see you as, that this guy wants me to see you as, saying that that's how it is, according to what their cultural thinking. So he was getting this snobby dude to be put in his place. That's all he was doing. He was putting the snobby guy in his place. But he wasn't trying to put him down. He was trying to give him a lesson to be better. Because he never pushed aside these individuals. He wanted to teach them to love all and to be aware that everybody matters. And so that was one lesson that I thought was awesome. Is so he told this to this individual, and this individual was like taken aback. She didn't get taken back right away. She was like, well, even a dog can have crumbs. It's like, oh, bless you, stand up. Your family member is healed. Go home. They're healed. Like that. From where he was. Wherever their family member was. Could have been miles away. Could have been another country away. How do we know? It was probably not, but it was pretty far enough away that she was asking for him to do it, knowing that they were far away enough from him. And so he just did it right as he was sitting at the table after she wasn't feet. So he didn't have to be right near the body or the person or the individual to heal them. And so when people ask me, can we manifest together? Is it better to be together to manifest things or to heal things? I said, no, you can do it over the phone. You can do it by watching just a movie and saying, oh, we bless our wealth, we bless our health, we bless this person. They are healed now. They are healed now. And then if our collective belief comes together and it happens, it occurs. And if their faith of just hearing me say it, even if I don't know that they are believing that me just saying it would help heal them, it would heal them if they had the energy belief of that. Because that happened with Christ too. And Christ said to do what he did, that all can do it. He never said that we can't. He said, you have little faith, but you don't have little faith if it works. And if it doesn't work, forgive your little faith and it will. You can still make it work. That's the thing. It's just getting into your heart center. And then it makes miracles happen. So one of the things that I thought was really cool was he basically got this high-class Jew of his same Jew heritage, and he basically, that he was said to be, that he was able to get this guy to realize that everybody deserves to be healed and can. He was just trying to follow the rules of the land, but she came to him, so he's not going to turn anybody that comes to him, regardless of what race or religion was. And when people complained about him helping those individuals, Good Samaritans or whatever that came to him, or saw or whatever, he said, it's okay. He says, why did you help this person? Why did you do this? They did this, we had this war and this issue several years ago, so we don't like Samaritans, is what the Jews would say, or different things at the time, is what I've heard stories on. And then he would say, well, we also did this to them in the past. We need to forgive our past and heal each other and be there for each other, because it doesn't matter what has been done in the past. We need to make a better future. We need to be better for one another equally, because we are one another. And so that's pretty cool. So the next thing, and I might have to do another video on this, because I want to finish the other part of what I'm bringing up here, is there was another experience about the apostle prophet seeing a guy heal people from diseases and evil spirits or whatever, and they were able to do the same thing Christ could do, and then they tried to believe him because they were doing it in Christ's name or ability, and they went and told Christ about it, and Christ said, don't believe him, because they said, but it already happened. He says, if they're able to do it, then they are of me. Doesn't matter what religion or faith or whatever they are. If they're doing it, they are of me. Bless you all.